Hey everybody, it's Steve here again on day 9 of our lockdown devotional series. We are looking at the book of Philippians, and what's really interesting about Paul's letters is that he usually starts by talking about our position in Christ, and then he moves on to talking about our practice because of that position. Because you are sons, because you are accepted, because you are adopted, your position, this is how you should then practice or outwork that faith. And yesterday we read a verse that said, do everything without grumbling or complaining. Today's verse says, do nothing. So yesterday was do everything without grumbling and complaining. Today's verse, Philippians 2 and verse 3, says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. He spent Philippians 1 telling us how loved we are by God. And Philippians 2 verse 1 said, if you have any encouragement from being united with Christ. And he says, if you have that position, then you shouldn't do anything out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Now, what's really tricky and challenging about these words is that all of us are by nature selfish. We are born selfish. We are born for me, my, and I. We're born with that inside of us, and we outwork that almost every single day, looking out for ourselves and for our own needs and for our own wants. And Paul says here, do nothing out of selfishness. Do nothing out of selfish ambition. With this extra time that we've had at home, my thoughts have drifted into some of my childhood and my early formative years. And one of the people that stands out in my memory as being one of the most selfless people I ever knew was my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. This lady had had an incredible amount of hardships in her life. She'd had a number of physical health challenges. She'd had a lot of bereavement. I think 4 of her 6 children passed away before she did eventually. She lived many years, but before she died, 4 of her 6 children had died before her. She had wept many tears in grief and pain. But the incredible thing about her was how selfless she was. In fact, her house was one of our favorite places to go on holiday. She was always looking out for the needs of others, always looking out of how she could bless and how she could serve. Apart from her family, her extended circle in their church community and in their physical community where they lived, she was always looking for ways to bless others. I've very seldom ever heard about her grumbling or complaining. She lived this intensely selfless life, looking to bless others, looking to give, looking to be a river rather than a dam. A river's got water that comes in and goes out, passes through. A dam stores up everything. And by the time her life ended, she had given and sown and blessed so many other people. I've got such fond memories of this lady who sets an example for me of this verse, of doing nothing out of selfish ambition and vain conceit. In this time when all of us are really looking to our own safety and our own health, let's be careful that our motives aren't selfish ambition and vain conceit. I hope you have an amazing day. God bless.